Hey everybody, this is Gordon and welcome back to Kitchen Quest. We're making tacos. Who doesn't love a good taco? Today I'm going to show you how to make your own seasoning mix from scratch, which is going to include toasting and grinding some of your own spices. We're going to make homemade tortillas and guacamole.
For the tortillas, we're going to need flour, butter, salt, and water. For the seasoning mix, we're going to need cumin seeds, black pepper, and coriander seeds, and we're going to toast all these. Then we're going to add some light chili powder, some hot pepper powder, and some paprika. For the guacamole, we're going to use 2 avocados, some cherry tomatoes, a little bit of onion, garlic, and then for the ground meat, we're going to use a blend of half ground beef, half ground pork, some more garlic, and some onion. So for the tortillas, we're going to take the flour, we're going to add the salt, we're going to add the butter that's at room temperature. We're going to toss that just a little bit, kind of break the butter up. We're going to go ahead and add the water. This is water, it's about 90 degrees. It's about room temperature, a little bit more. And we're going to go ahead and blend all this together and mix it together by hand until you have a nice dough. A little bit more floured, so it's not too sticky. We're going to knead this. I like kneading it in a bowl. Kind of keeps everything together. Once we have a nice ball formed, we're going to go ahead and cover this and we're going to let it rest. Next, we're going to make the guacamole. So we'll take the avocados and we're going to cut them in half long ways. And we're going to take the seed and we're going to hit it with our knife and give it a twist. We're going to pull that seed out. Now save that seed. Now we're going to take the avocados and put them in a food processor. I like my guacamole smooth. If you like yours chunky, you don't have to use a food processor. You can just mash it by hand. But this is how I like to do it. So put all the avocado in the food processor. We'll add about 1/8 of an onion, a couple cloves of garlic, some cherry tomatoes, hit that with some salt, a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, and we're going to process that until it's nice and smooth. We're going to put the seeds back in, and that's going to keep the guacamole from turning brown. Next, let's go ahead and chop the rest of our ingredients. We'll chop the garlic, and we'll chop the onion for the ground meat. And make sure you save a little bit of the onion so you can put it on top of the tacos when you're done. Nice chop here. Next, we're going to start the seasoning. So we're going to take the pan and we're going to heat it over medium-high. We're going to add the cumin seeds, black pepper, and coriander seeds. And give it a quick little shake, and we're going to let that toast for about 5 minutes or so. You'll know it's done because it's going to darken a little bit, and you're going to see some of the seeds start to jump around just a little bit. See? Little jumps. Once that's done, we're going to take them and we're going to put them into a spice grinder. Spice grinder is basically a coffee grinder. Just make sure that you have a separate bowl dedicated just to spices. So we're going to spoon all those into there. And we're going to give that a nice pulse. Get those broken down nicely. Take the lid off so you can see what it looks like. See, that's a little bit rough. Probably going to want to process that a little bit more. After it's processed, I like to add all the rest of the spices in. So we'll get the chili powder, the paprika, and the pepper. I like to pulse that so it's all blended together nicely. Add some salt to that as well. And we'll just give that another quick pulse. Take the lid off so you can see everything's all nice and mixed together, nice and fine. And there's our seasoning mix. Now we'll work on the tortillas. So after the ball's been resting for about a half an hour, we're going to go ahead and cut that into 8 portions. And make them into nice little balls, and we'll set them aside. And then on a floured surface, we're going to pat them out into round discs, and then we're going to roll them. And you want to get these so they're about 8 to 10 inches. So we'll give it a roll, and we'll flip it over, we'll roll it again. Roll it so it's nice and thin. You're never going to get them perfectly round without a tortilla press, but we can get them close. Nice and thin. Then we're going to put them into a preheated frying pan that is dry, no oil. You want to make sure you get it into the preheated pan, because if it's cold, then you'll have chewy tortillas. And we can just go ahead and give it a flip. If you've never flipped anything before in a frying pan, tortillas is a good thing to learn with. It's not messy, it's not going to go everywhere. It's good practice. I just recently learned how to flip things, so I'm going to show off a little bit here. It only takes about a minute per side, and you can screw up. It's okay. Just go ahead and fix it. We're human. But about a minute on the first side, a little less than a minute on the second side. I like to give it one more flip, and you'll see that it fills up with air a little bit. Once that happens, we'll go ahead and take it off the heat, and we'll put it in the oven on low. Next, we're going to cook the meat. So we'll start with some olive oil, some garlic, and let that sweat a little bit. Go ahead and add the onions. Give them a nice stir until they're slightly translucent, and we'll go ahead and add the ground meat. We're going to break all that up. Add some fresh cracked salt. And of course some fresh pepper. A little bit of paprika. I like putting these spices on while the meat's raw because it has a different flavor profile than when you add the spices in later on. Cooks into the meat a little bit. Add some body. So once the meat's all nice and browned, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the spice mixture in, the seasoning mixture. And we're going to add a little bit of water. About 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup. Give that a nice stir. And then we're going to let that reduce down. Now once a lot of the juices has evaporated and the spices have kind of melded with the meat, we're going to go ahead and start building our tacos. We'll take the tortillas that have been warming on low in the oven, just keeping warm, and we'll spoon some meat onto there. There we go. And then we'll add some grated cheese. I like grated cheddar. And then some lettuce. You can use lettuce if you want. You can use tomatoes. Just whatever chopped vegetables you have laying around. So we've got some tomatoes. And some of the reserved onions that we had from before. Next we'll spoon on some of the guacamole that we made. Perfect for dipping chips in too. Some sour cream. We're just gonna add everything. I like making my tacos to have everything, including the kitchen sink. Next, we're gonna add some homemade salsa. I'll cover the salsa in another video we'll do in a month or so down the road. And there we go, fresh tacos, guacamole with our own seasoning. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to hit subscribe below, and I will see you guys next time.